Everybody, back with another Advent Devotional for December 14th. I read from Zephaniah chapter 9 today. And verse 9 says this: "Rejoice, O people of Zion. Shout in triumph, O people of Jerusalem. Look, your king is coming to you. He is righteous and victorious, yet he is humble, riding on a donkey, riding on a donkey's colt." Zechariah celebrates and tells the coming of a king, something that we talk about at Christmas time. That Jesus' birth is the birth of a king. That's what the Magi ask when they show up at Herod's palace. We saw the star, the king has been born. So what our message yesterday was on Bethlehem, and how Bethlehem and the prophecy that he would be born in Bethlehem points to the expectation that the Messiah would be the king. And yet the king comes born in a manger. Not with some grand coronation, not with the celebration that normally would come with the birth of royalty. And Zechariah points to his coming into Jerusalem on a donkey, what we would know as Palm Sunday. And what that reminded me of today was that it wasn't just Jesus' birth that was humble, it was his entire life. Everything he did was humble. Him coming in on the donkey, the prophecy was that he would come humbly. We're told that he humbled himself even to the point of death on a cross, that the cross was the ultimate expression of humility. And humility is simply thinking of others is more important than yourselves. That's what Philippians 2. That's the attitude of Christ. It was the attitude when he was born and came here. It was his attitude as he lived among us. It was his attitude when he died. Humble. And as I read that and thought of it today, I thought, if there's anything that our world right now needs, if there's anything that our world needs to take away from the Christmas story this year, it's that. We need more humility. We need, especially the church right now, we need to focus on how we can think of others more than ourselves. If we committed to that, if there was more humility, if there was the kind of humility that Jesus had, and that attitude was in us, that was in Christ, what is going on right now in our world would look differently. How would we react to things would look differently. People's immediate reactions to anything right now are about our rights or about our beliefs. And those things, I'm not suggesting that they're not important. What I'm suggesting is that our fight for those kind of things and us making them our priority goes contrary to the attitude of Christ in our hearts. How do you think of others as better than yourselves? How do you think of others more than yourself? How do you give up what you have to come into others' lives, the same way Jesus gave up all his glory, honor, and power and authority to come be in our lives? He gave up his life because he thought I was more important than him. Because he knew that for me and for you to have life, he had to humble himself on a cross. May this Christmas season, may humility become the focus of your heart. May you use this opportunity to begin to ask yourselves, how can I think of others more than myself, as better than myself? How can I consider the needs of others as equal to my own? How have I given up what I've had? Given up what I think is my right, because Jesus had a right to a throne in heaven. Jesus had a right to glory, honor, and praise. But he gave it up for you. How are you doing that same thing for others in your life?